And hello, and welcome back to Chaos Child. Last time we got disbanded, sort of, and we're gonna have an interview with a guy who probably has some supernatural power. I'm willing to. I feel like the bet here is probably that you have some group that's trying to organize stuff, and they're probably manipulating people with these supernatural powers and disposing of them when they get to a point where they're not useful anymore. Something like that. And the whole kill him element to it is probably for Watabe, and he's probably going to be the victim of this killing. And since we're on the day of another killing that should happen, that's what I'm gonna bet's gonna happen. Oh, and his power, I would presume, is something involving attracting attention, based on what he said. Not sure what, but we've seen them vague enough, as in people getting enraptured by someone singing in person. So we'll see, I guess. And on the side of that, I'm still of the opinion that what's the plan and the usefulness of how they used him was someone basically keyed him in on the stickers spreading and being involved in the cases and stuff like that, with the intention of spreading the image of the sticker specifically, in that the image is the thing that gives whatever they're doing power, rather than the sticker itself. Etc., etc., etc. I've said it a ton of times now, but I'm still have no reason to go away from that. And what they're going to do with that? Well, they're treating it like a surveillance camera. We had something where they said that they think they can kill someone via it. So there might be something where maybe someone has an observation power where they can do something to someone or influence someone. Or we saw like the memory change stuff at points, like the well, obviously the killings we've seen, people have been influenced, so probably something like that. It might be a combination of powers, like one person can do something and then the other ones, like one person can use them as like security cameras, and then another person uses that as like a view to someone and uses that connection to use their power on someone that is connected to them through the security camera type ability, or something like that. It could be something like that. Especially since what we've seen seems to indicate that there is a group involved here. So, yeah. I put the cardboard box I was carrying down on the desk. Finally, I was able to relax. Compared to the physical therapy I'd done after my coma, this is nothing. But my arms and legs were sore, so not nothing.
どうして僕たちが生徒会の仕事なんて。そりゃ俺たちが生徒会に迷惑かけちまったからだろ。
Debatable. Ina was standing next to the windowsill where the warm sunlight was pouring in. He looked comfortable. There's no one in the room but me and him.
確かに生徒会の仕事を手伝う約束はしたけどさ。いくらなんでもこき使いすぎだ。
I've been running around all day carrying one thing or another. Everyone, myself most of all, knew that I wasn't cut out for physical labor. And what's more,
伊藤。
how the hell could he be playing with his smartphone when I was working so hard? After I complained, he said,
んなこと言ったって、クレーム対応は嫌だって言ったのはお前だろ。
So you chose not to deal with the social, help. You're probably not going to be trusted with the mental help, as in, like, planning stuff. So that basically leaves, yeah, the physical help. Great. Just one day left until the festival. all the clubs had complaints and demands to make it to the student council. They'd asked for someone who could listen to them and relay them to the student council, and I decided there was no way I could do that, so I left it to Ito.
それより見たかこれ。
Oh, that thing. Ito showed me his phone, which he'd been playing with.
なんだ。
さっき渡部が配信してたんだよ。明日のこといろいろ喋ってたぞ。
え
Just like Ito said, the phone was playing a video that had gone up in the last half hour.
それに見ろよこのカウント数。最近の報道でどんどん伸びてるっぽいし、明日は期待してもいいかもな。
期待ね。
Good things. What would be good things in this situation?
なんだよそのリアクション。お前だって昨日は興奮してただろ。
I'm just thinking myself, like, what would actually be a good thing? What would be a positive result from this interview for us? That he doesn't do something horrible? Because, like, the best thing I can think of is, like, neutral. Like, good exposure, sure, but what does that help us? We're getting shut down for a while. It's not like we can do anything with the exposure. It's not like the exposure means anything anyways. Like, the view counts and stuff like that doesn't really mean much for a student newspaper club. Going viral isn't really shouldn't be a goal, basically. I won't deny that I got a little excited when I heard about tomorrow's interview, but...
やっぱりいいように利用されているだけの気がするんだよな。そもそもあの情報自体僕たちの方が早く配信してたんだぞ。それを渡部はいかにも同じタイミングだったみたいに扱ってる。
It was a common media trick to suggest things that weren't true without actually lying.
自分の方が後出しだったってことをうやむやにしようとしてるってわけか。
ああ。
And also felt like he was trying to use all the flame wars to up his view counts.
仮にそうだとしたらどうするんだよ明日のインタビュー。
別に普通に受けるよ。それが学校側からの条件なんだから。
No. Honestly, I'd like to shoot him down and show him up as a liar. The second I started to get a little excited, the mark left on my cheek after Kawahara hit me started to ache. For now, I need to focus on helping student council, not the case.
あれ、そういえば川原君は。
You know what would be the absolute most fantastic way? Because his interview is going to be video-based, right? We to not be confrontational. Rather, to be dismissive, like, oh yeah, you're here. Yeah, whatever, yeah. Just, like, treat him like he's the least important person in the world, like, okay, you know, can we get this over with? We have important things to do. Stuff like that. That, I feel as though that would be a great way to... Maybe not, like, show him as a liar, but if he wanted to be passive-aggressive, that would be fantastic. That would be a very good way, considering the little I've seen of him. It feels like that would really get under his skin.
ああ、なんだっけ。校庭にあっただろ。風鈴だかなんだか飾るやつ。
ああ、願い事がどうとか言う。
One of the classes was doing something about the Shibuya Earthquake. They said that they were making an area where you could write your wish on a sheet of paper that would be tied to a wind chime. A big wind chime? Oh, that feels like that's gonna kill someone. We've been told to submit something, but I hadn't. To be honest, I didn't really like stuff like that.
あれの設置で走り回ってるってさっき。
あ。
Yes, big of the devil. Kawahara frowned a little when he saw me. Started to open his mouth, then closed it, then glanced at Ito, and then sighed, something in deciding to just give up.
終わったのか。え？
Kawahara was looking at the box I'd been carrying.
はい。じゃあ、次は受付にパンフ運んでくれ。パンフレットですね。わかりました。
いってらっしゃい。
I glared at Ito, then picked up the box with the pamphlets and went to leave the student council room. Kawahara was still frowning at me. Clearly smart enough to realize that he's not going to help by being a big dick about it, but clearly wants to be. That's strange. I'm sure he'd say something about Kurisu, or at least insult me. After I finished carrying the pamphlets, I went to buy a drink from the vending machine. I didn't get some caffeine from a mountain view. I wasn't going to be able to move. As a person who has never drank caffeine in my life except maybe a sip or two by accident, I don't... I can sort of imagine the upside, but man, it's such a weird concept to me. I've never drank coffee in my life, basically. Nor tea, nor honestly anything else with caffeine. Someone was tugging at the hem of my uniform. I quickly turned around.
はい、なんでしょう。
Hi. How are you helping? Physical labor? Mental labor? Social labor?
で、和樹か。脅かすなよ。
She'd been sent to help with her class's display, which is just about finished up.
クラスの仕事終わったのか？だったら生徒会の方の手伝いを頼む。
Kazuki tugged even harder at my uniform.
いや、だから生徒会の手伝いを。
I feel like she might be the one who relied the most on the newspaper club running, considering what she did there.
もしかしてついてこいって言ってるのか？
Speaking of which, I'll probably play some FF14 myself after this. As she nodded. Oh. Her expression hadn't changed, but she seemed like she was having some kind of trouble. What's going on? Currently, I'm not associating her with the student council work, just the festival stuff, which, while I'm not big on, probably has more positive vibes relative to everything else going on. Does she want me to help with something? I need to get back to the student council room? Or maybe I'm optimistic that I get to help with something more interesting. But it was incredibly rare for Kazuki to actually come to me for help. Would it be right to just ignore her?
わかったよ。しょうがないからついてってやる。
No way. Did Kazuki just grin? How would you... Doesn't look like it. Something you almost never saw.
それでどこへ行くんだ？
I faintly hoped that something incredible was about to happen. Uh-oh. Kazuki grabbed my sleeve and started walking. She took me right up to the roof of the school.
Help me.
I suddenly heard a girl's voice. There's no... This is definitely his delusion. She doesn't talk. I looked around, but only the two of us were here.
なんだ、ただの空耳か。
Help me.
No, I wasn't imagining it. I really did hear it. I looked around again, but there was nobody there but me and Kazuki. There's no place for anyone to hide. Which meant...
もしかして、今の、和樹、お前か？お前喋れたのか？
No, I mean, of course she can talk, but it was just really surprising, okay?
でもどうしていきなり。
Help me, タクル宮代. You are my only hope.
Hello, Princess Leia?
は？
Why is she speaking English? In your delusion, even. Could Kazuki maybe not speak Japanese? Maybe she'd grown up outside the country? But that's why she never talked. But her English didn't seem very good. Yes, it definitely felt like English. It was actually not horrible. It was English, but it wasn't horrible English. I feel like the pronunciation, it was accented, but it was, no.
Help me, Takeru Miyashiro. You are my only hope.
Yeah, that, I mean, it's not like hopu or you, helpo me, or any of the things where they always put like syllables, or vowels at the end, and how they're speaking. It's not horrible English, it's just very accented. So I would say that's English, not English. That's actually pretty good. Good job, Kazuki. Also, this is Delusion, so it might not be that at all. And then suddenly a loud fanfare played. Where was that sound coming from? Oh my goodness, this is gonna... As I looked around frantically, giant words appeared in the sky and started to scroll. A long time ago in a galaxy far, far away? Oh, I'm not even trying. Something about rebelling, Black Hole Fortress. Saving the whole universe.
今のって何？
Projection map. Okay, what's projection mapping? I would be surprised if it's not something I had not heard of before. Okay. No, yeah, I understand what that is. I wasn't familiar with the exact term, though. Kazuki's expression didn't change at all.
私の本名はカズキ・ハンナ。カズキ大聖団帝国である銀河帝王ルドルフ15世の第8王女です。
Okay. Why are you acting surprised? This is your delusion.
助けてください。
This is literally, like, you come out of these like, I was simulating what was happening. So this isn't just you being delusional. This is you actively thinking this is the likely result, right?
ちなみに、あなたは私の双子の兄です。
No, I mean, it could be.
あと、最終的にあなたは生き別れの実の父親と戦うことになります。まあ、つまりルドルフ15世のことですが。というわけで、助けてください。
というわけでとか言われてもな、ダイジェストで説明されても困る。
さあ、行きましょう。
どこへ？
あの星の彼方へ。
I feel like her... Was it Spark Wars? Oh, I thought it said Space Wars. Yeah, okay. Did I maybe want to put on a Star Wars play at the Culture Festival? That surprised even me. But Star Wars was too old for a high school kid to use in a play. Wait, what? Wouldn't it be at an age... Is it... Wait, what? I'm trying to think of it. Wouldn't there be no... Wouldn't it be too young to use in a play because it's too pop culture-y at that point? But once it gets old enough, it would be like, okay, it's something from the past and people see it as something from the past rather than the modern era, that sort of thing. And then someone would more see that as something normal to pull from. Okay. I considered this as I walked and I don't know why. And the next thing I knew, I was in the courtyard. Apparently still with her. Kazuki stopped in front of some large object with a vinyl covering on top of it. What was this thing? Kazuki stared at it for a moment and then pointed at it.
もしかしてこれを運ばなきゃならないとか？
She nodded. But what was this thing anyways? Oh, 1A, let's build a Gunverel. Huh. So, well, interesting. Because I the name reminds me of Gundam, obviously. but like the little logo up there reminds me of like Gurren Lagann or other stuff like that. More so than like Gundam. Then again, I don't really know what Gundam Japanese logos typically look like, but still. In bright colors and big letters it says, Class 1A, let's build a Gunvero project. Sure, let's discover exactly what it's supposed to be in this. Between 2012 and 2015, unusual marketing strategy broadcasting in 110 countries before releasing in Japan, creating a worldwide boom before the Japanese release. Like most robot anime, targeting middle school boys and above with middle school boys and above with toys and other merchandise, and the amazing 3D CG battles and high quality story based on Egyptian mythology became very popular. This doesn't seem unusual marketing strategy to create a worldwide boom before Japanese release. Doesn't seem... Maybe in 2012 to 2015 you could get a little bit of that. I don't feel as though you could create a worldwide boom before Japanese. I guess how I typically see them is that I would imagine most things that get a boom, like boom boom, unless it, like a boom boom, in like the West and whatnot, would be stuff that have a good enough reputation to really get the ball rolling and stuff like that early on while it's like still running. Especially for a TV show. But then again, 155 episodes. Did they run all 155 before it released in Japan? Story based on Egyptian mythology became popular. However, the last episode of the third season was suddenly cancelled in a very controversial move. Vast settings span the entire planet. Throughout the past, present, and future, first season's opening song was sung by the popular gothic band Phantasm. Is a bit interesting. Okay. What is the relevancy of this?
頑張れるってアニメの
Gunvero was an anime that had started back when I was in middle school. Most anime these days only lasted 3 to 6 months. Gunvero had been on forever. In fact, it just ended the other day. And some idiot had decided to cancel it just before the last episode could air. This caused a huge uproar. That's not something that feels like something that would never happen. It's an animated show. You wouldn't just throw away the last episode and not air it. At worst, even if you didn't want to like show it on your channel, you'd like throw it up somewhere for like streaming, right? A company wouldn't. They basically have free money at that point because the investment's already been made.
これって和樹のクラスの展示物
I see. They must have been attempting to make a model of the robot from the anime. And so they made all the parts in the courtyard, and now they had to get them into their classroom.
でもなんで和樹が一人で運ばなきゃならないんだクラスの連中は
I followed Kazuki's gaze over to the entrance and saw students in pairs happily carrying large objects covered in sheets.
なるほどぼっちには辛い状況だな
Well, I guess we're friends then, right? I'm sorry. Don't kick me in the shin. Hit Shinji in the shin. He deserves the shin to get shinned and shit. If you're going to kick me in the shin, don't do it so hard. Very persuasive.
誰がぼっちだ違うわ今日はたまたま仲のいい子が休んでるだけだからすまん僕の勘違いだ
I decided to play along.
で僕にどうしろと代わりに運ぶのを手伝えって
I'm pretty sure us two are friends though, so that's why this is happening, so...
でもこれって重いんじゃないのか
Don't look at me with those puppy dog eyes. Fine. Normally I would have found some way to get out of it, but if Kurisu wanted the culture festival to succeed, I didn't really have a choice. I reached down to grab the object under the sheet.
よし、そっち回って。さあ、いっせーので持ち上げるぞ。行くぞ。いっせーの。おい。お前リズム感ないのか。完全にずれてるぞ。遅い。
We weren't in sync at all. She lived up a moment or two after I did. Well, she plays MMOs, so she better have a sense of rhythm. I mean, just the global cooldowns alone makes that sort of a standard fare in most MMOs. Even just a basic level. Because of that, we almost dropped it to the ground. Then again, maybe she does just button mash things until the cooldown's off.
僕が悪いみたいな顔をするなよ。もう一回やるぞ。いっせー。今度は早っ。もういい。和樹に僕が合わせるから、とにかく持ち上げろ。
As she started to lift, I did too. Staggered, but managed to keep it steady.
よし。それじゃ、このまま運ぼう。
We slowly headed towards Kazuki's classroom, counting 1, 2, 1, 2 to keep ourselves in unison. Of course, I was the only one who actually spoke.
そこんとこ角になってるからな。気をつけろよ。
We made it to the stairs. This is where things got hard.
先に登って。そうそう。そのままゆっくりゆっくり。踏み外すな。踏み外すんじゃないぞ。
Is this gonna fit in their classroom? Something this heavy and this is just like an individual part? Making Kazuki go first so that I could hold it from the bottom was a mistake.
あ、おい。
Even after all my warnings, Kazuki slipped in. Wow, that ended well. That ended well. Damn it, I told you not to trip. You're just lucky we climbed up that much.
大丈夫か、和樹。
Yeah, that's a helpful sight. The situation was... Well, I just got kicked in the shin, so negative, I suppose. Something you saw all the time in anime, wasn't it? Anyway, I need to do something about this. Because he was so light, though. Oh, she wasn't very tall, but she had a pretty good body, actually. Wait, what was I thinking? What if someone came by and saw us? No, I needed to do something. Part of me wanted to enjoy the sensation a little longer. He did just get kicked in the shin, so... Expecting a non-reaction. Expecting a non-reaction reaction. Is she only ever going to talk in, like, the actual illusions? That'd be funny if it was. Huh? Her voice is so soft I could barely hear it. If I hadn't been directly under her, I wouldn't have been able to hear it at all.
私は監視されています。24時間ずっとです。学校にいる時も、通学途中も、家にいる時も、ゲームをしている時も、監視の目を感じるんです。
Wow, he's getting off topic really easily in this section.
彼らは巧妙に姿を隠しているんですよ。実際には隠していないのですが、隠さないことで逆に紛れているんです。
Just one little thought of, what if someone sees us and it's like, someone's watching her 24/7.
そうしてたまに私に接触してきます。それは彼らなりの警告です。お前を監視しているぞと私に教えているんですね。
And I realized it wasn't that Kazuki wasn't talking, simply that no one had ever heard her.
今日は学校に来る途中でサラリーマンの男の人とぶつかりました。私はカバンの中身をぶちまけてしまいました。その人は謝りながら拾うのを手伝ってくれたんですよ。その人も彼らの仲間であり、私を監視している一人です。間違いないです。街のあちこちにいるんです。そうやって何気なく私を見張っている人は他にもたくさんいます。家には調べてはいませんが、盗聴器がおそらく10個以上は仕掛けられているでしょうね。なぜ調べないのかといえば、調べると彼らに気づかれるからです。もし私が盗聴器の存在に気づいていることが知られたら、彼らはもっと直接的な行動に出てくるでしょう。だから私は気づかないふりをすることしかできません。家の前の駐車場にはいつも怪しい白いワゴンが止まっています。その車は本当に毎日ずっとそこに止まっているんです。一度人が乗っているのを見ました。エンジンもかけずに助手席に座っていました。運転席は空っぽでした。盗聴器が拾う音を聞いていたんだと思います。学校でも常に見張られています。今こうして先輩と密着していることもすでに上に報告されているでしょうね。生徒の中にスパイが紛れ込んでいます。しかも一人や二人ではなく何十人という数です。私が校内のどこへ行こうとも必ず誰かが私を見ています。例えば私のクラスの大河内さんはスパイです。以前1週間の間に直接大河内さんにあなたはスパイでしょうと聞いてみました。宮代先輩も私と同じ部なので当然見張られています。視線を感じませんか？私は感じます。私が部室でゲームをしている時が多いです。場合によってそういう時、私は気づいているけれど気づいていないふりをするために壁を殴ります。隣の部屋の壁越しに殴るとしばらくは静かになりますが、また1時間もしないうちにひそひそと話し出すんです。すごくムカつきます。彼らは巧妙に私たちの日常生活の、でも私が今こうして話したから、もう先輩も私のスカートのポケットの中に護身用の、それとも先輩もスパイですか？だとしたら
カズキ、落ち着いて。
Oh my goodness, that went on forever.
スパイですか？
Is that just an excuse to stare at her boobs for an extended period of time?
スパイなんですか？スパイですよね。私のこといつも見てますもんね。気持ち悪いです。やめてください。誰か助けて。誰か。
She's insane.
お前どうかしてるよ。
If that was why she didn't talk, that would be horrible. I preferred the Star Wars one. We wouldn't be able to be friends after that. Well, that probably wasn't the case. Anyway, I couldn't stay like this forever. I need to stand up before someone saw me. Well, she's on top of me, right?
カズキ、怪我はないか？ほら、じゃあ立って早いところこれ持っていこう。
Fortunately, the gunbarrel part wasn't damaged at all. We headed to Kazuki's classroom, being careful not to trip this time.
1の A、 ここか。
Akira near the entrance saw Kazuki and ran over. She looked like a normal, average girl.
カズキ、運んできてくれたんだ。てっきりバックれたのかと思ってた。あれ？てか、こっちの人は？
いや、その。
Oh, look, two people who don't talk now.
ああ、知ってる。確か新聞部の。明日渡部と対談するって。
Ooh, okay. We've gotten Bobula, eh? How did she know?
君は
大河内って言います。
いや、名前じゃなくて、知ってるんですか？その、渡部殿。
やだ、みんな知ってますよ。噂になってるし。
That surprised me. I thought that only a few people at school would know about Nico Neo Reporter. I had no idea a girl like this, who didn't look like she kept up with the news at all, would know about it. I think you have a few assumptions on your about Dagger. And there were even rumors about it.
頑張ってくださいね。楽しみにしてますから。
はい、ありがとうございます。
Kazuki ignored the two of us and took the part inside, and silently put it on the floor. No one tried to help. But as I went over to her,
わざわざすいません。あとはこっちでやっとくんで、そこに置いといてください。
that girl, Okochi, said that to me. I did as I was asked, and left the room. And then Kazuki followed me.
何?
What, am I, a spy? She offered me a lollipop, the one that was in her mouth?
くれるのか?
Was this her way of thanking me? Was it the one in her mouth? But
それ食べかけだろ?
I mean, some people that might be viewed as a good thing, but I have a feeling it's probably not intentional on her part. Or she doesn't really sweat the details of that sort of thing. She sighed and put it back in her mouth, took out a small bag from her skirt pocket. It was dried squid.
どうも。手が空いたら生徒会の方も手伝ってくれよ。一応部員なんだから。
Kazuki shrugged and walked up the stairs. Maybe she's going back to the club room to play her game some more. Probably couldn't count on her help. Okay. Tashita Hiroko was working at a part-time job as a grocery store cashier. Oh, fantastic. Her husband was always working out working late, but he didn't actually make any money. His airheaded personality meant that he was perennially stuck in lower management. Her son was in college and spent all of his time playing. She was spending a lot of money to send him there, but he'd grown up into a selfish boy who constantly demanded cars and trips. Of course, their budget was always stretched to the limit. They hadn't built up any kind of savings. They lived in Shibuya, true, but she had to live with her in-laws, which didn't make things easy at all. The idea of going to lunch with her friends from the neighborhood seemed as remote as the fiction she saw paraded on the news every night. She wanted an easier life. Lately, she'd been all sighs. And maybe coughs. Yesterday, she'd actually sighed at work. He got a warning from her boss. Wait, what? What was her job? Store where she worked was along Meiji Road, about a 5-minute walk from Shibuya. Lunchtime rush had ended and things were calming down. She wanted to take a little break, but it wasn't break time yet.
合計で3127円になります。
The woman in front of her, who was taking out her wallet, was one she'd seen several times before. She wore fancy clothes and had a slender, attractive body. Her makeup was perfect too. Even when she was only going shopping at the supermarket. She must have lived in a different world. Maybe she was what they called a celebrity wife. The woman seemed very anxious as she waited for her to finish. Tashita hadn't even handed over her change yet. She'd already lifted up her shopping basket. What was bothering her so much? Was she feeling sick? She did seem a little pale. Tashita wondered about her, but they didn't have enough of a relationship that she felt comfortable asking. She handed her the receipt and her change. And then the woman quickly left. Tachida greeted the next customer, and then gasped. It was a man. He was wearing a mask. Oh, if I'm right about the image of it being like where the power lies, that could escalate. The mask had the same design as those things they called the sumo stickers. She heard about the stickers on the news several days ago. She learned that lately they were popular in Shibuya and nowhere else. She had seen them several times on her way to and from work. It was a disgusting design, and the idea of Shibuya being overrun with the things made her sick. This man was wearing a mask with the same design, and that meant she couldn't see his face. His clothes were completely normal. They weren't particularly filthy, and he didn't look like a pervert or a crazy man. But that made it even stranger that he'd be wearing a mask to hide his face, and one so poorly constructed that it was obviously handmade. Why? Was this why the last customer seemed so anxious? The man was standing completely still. He didn't say anything to Tachida. And then she realized that she'd been staring at his face for quite a long time.
すみません。いらっしゃいませ。
She looked inside a shopping basket. It was filled with several bowls of instant ramen in a single 2-liter.
4378円になります。
And she gave him the total. She happened to see the customers in the other lanes. This time she was struck completely silent. It wasn't just her register. Every single register. I had a customer wearing a mask. There were so many of them. They were all standing silently. There were already 10 people lined up at her register, and all of them were wearing sumo sticker masks. Are they all somewhat heavy set? The store never got this busy, even at lunchtime on a Saturday. The only thing the people in the masks had in common was that they were men. They all wore different colors. A tall man in a sweatshirt, a fat middle-aged man in running clothes, a well-built man in a sweater. Not all of them looked like they had steady jobs, but not all of them looked like they were unemployed. And not one of them said a word. They just stood there in a line, mask on their head, and baskets in their hands. The noisy supermarket suddenly fell silent. Well, my first instinct is something like puppetry via the mask. Enslaving drone hive mind sort of thing going on, maybe. All the other employees and customers stared at the men in the mask, eyes wide. Oh, that was nice. On my way to the student council room, I remembered that I'd been planning to get a mountain view and head back to the vending machines. Only caffeine and carbonation, combined with the mightiest of drinks, could slake my thirst. I think that's sake my thirst, I mean?
あー、見つけた!
Oh no. Run! Run! Just as I was about to put my coin in the slot, I heard a voice I recognized.
尾上? お前、手が足りないクラスの手伝いをしてるんじゃないのか?
そう、それ。お願いだから助けて!
Oh no. She grabbed my hand and yanked me forward.
ちょっと待ってくれ。さっきからあちこち動きっぱなしで。
それどころじゃないんだってば。とにかくタクがいないと。あー、見つけた!
I heard the exact same phrase that I heard a moment ago.
先輩方、チャオっす! やーやー、今日もお二人仲が良さそうで何よりです。
え?
Hey.
有村さん。
あなた、殺されますよ。宮代拓先輩。
Fantastic. So the last time we saw her was that too, wasn't it? I remember the words she said before. It's definitely Arimura who is in front of me right now. The one at the murder scene. And the one who'd been talking to the detective about the case. I could feel myself start to sweat.
有村さん、なんで。
やだな、後輩なんだから呼び捨てでいいって言ってるじゃないですか。ねえ、リカ。リカ？名前、セリカでしょ？やだ？じゃあ、セリでファイナルアンサー？ファイナルなのか、アンサーなのか。アンサー。ついでに私のことはヒナでいいから。はい、声に出して言ってみよう。せーの。
ひな？
ダメ、たどたどしいぞ。もう一回。
ひな。
まだちょっち硬いけどいいとすっか。じゃよろしくね、セリ。
What was she doing? This wasn't the same Arimura who'd told me I was going to be killed. This was how she was when she talked to her classmates. Something made me wonder. Was she planning something? What was she doing in that love hotel that day?
お、どうしたんですか、宮代先輩。視線が熱いですよ。
いや。
もしや私に惚れちゃいましたか？
Blah 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 blah.
タク、そうなの？
Why are you taking it seriously?
違う、そうじゃ。
もうそんな否定しなくても素直になっちゃいなよ、あ、でも言っときますけど、私に惚れると怪我するぜよ。
You already said I'm gonna get killed. What's the downside? It was not good. I couldn't keep up with her energy.
というわけでセリ、宮代先輩借りてくぜ。
Wait, what?
は？
Wait, I thought you were coming to get me to help with some... Before I could say anything, Arimura wrapped her arm around mine and pulled me away.
ヒナ？
Already?
アディオスグラッシャー、セリ。また来年。
Wait, why next year? Aren't we in the middle of the year? It's a festival.
あの。
何ですか？
話してもらえませんか？
これは気が回りませんで。
She bopped herself on the head and let go of my arm. And then she led me further down the hall, humming as she went. What was she doing? I felt like she was up to something. She must have noticed I wasn't moving because suddenly she turned around.
やだな、そんなあからさまに用心しないでくださいよ。ひなちゃん悲しい。
She pretended to cry.
一体どこまでが本気なんだ。わけがわからない。
ほら、ここです。さ、入って。
She pointed to an empty classroom. What was she planning on doing here?
でも。
大丈夫ですって。取って食ったりなんかしませんからね。
Why would your mind go there?
いや、ちょっと。
Why would eating you be the thing that you first think I'm scared of? Or eating me, whatever. Damn it. In the end, I gave in and went into the classroom.
さてと、先輩にここに来てもらった理由わかりますか？
Oh my god, you are gonna eat me. Oh. Well, his mindset is incredibly unsure. It would probably be negative if either one, but I sort of want to, at the moment, I feel like I want to stay in the middle. Of course not.
心当たりないです？
That was the only thing I could think of. But seeing the way she acted today, it was hard to believe that it was the same girl.
どっちの姿が本当の彼女なんだろ
Well, again, I think she's a lie detector. So she asks questions so she can get a read on what people are thinking. Maybe. Maybe if what I was imagining was the real her, then the reason she brought me here must be... It had to be... that.
事件のことですか?
Arimura's expression turned serious. I go repeatedly, feeling a little overwhelmed.
その僕も聞きたかったんですけど、あの事件の。
何のことですか?
Arimura suddenly smiled. She's smiling, but her voice made it clear that she was refusing to answer my question. I would have liked it more if she'd been frowning. I opened my mouth as if being pushed forward by some indescribable fear.
今さらとぼけたって無駄だと思います。あの現場に君がいたことは確かなんですから。君はどうしてあそこにいたんですか?
She was looking at me, but I couldn't read any kind of emotion in her eyes. I almost stepped back, but stopped myself. So if she's part of a group, as implied by Miss Labcoat, wouldn't that that could potentially mean that she was simply trying to scare me, right? We've seen those little like bits where it's like, I could kill him at any time sort of thing. But at the same time... And she might be disappointed now because I'm still pursuing or thinking about it to the point where I'm willing to talk about it.
なんか先輩、刑事さんみたいっすね。
And now she was back to her casual tone of voice.
くそ、なんだよこの子。
あの人は古い友人で、時々ああして会って、いろいろと話を聞いてただけっすよ。
That was what she said before when she was meeting with that detective named Shinjo at Cafe Lax. Did she? Don't remember that detail.
だから、先輩が思ってるような関係じゃないですから、残念でした。
Oh, honestly, I never really thought that was the case.
は?
That would be boring.
残念?
お、とぼけますか? あんなところで落ち合ってたんだから、エッチな想像してたんでしょ。もう、男子ってみんなそうですよね。やらしい。
いや、違う、そうじゃなくて。
Well, she knows how to get under his skin.
またまた、こんなところに連れてきたから、本当はちょっと期待してたんでしょ。でし
ょ。だからそういうのじゃなくて。
It makes sense now that you mention it, but honestly, the idea hadn't occurred to me at all.
僕はただ純粋にその。
If she's a lie, I wonder, like, so my theory again is that she's a lie detector, just because of how she's acting previously. She's still acting like that a bit, but on the same frame of mind, let's say I am right about that. Would she be a lie detector like an actual lie detector where it's just looking for a symptom of lying that isn't necessarily exclusive to lying or definitive that they are lying or not lying? Or can she actually tell, yeah, they're definitely lying. Can she tell intentions or stuff like heartbeat? Arimura looked at me with narrow eyes, as if she was judging me. What was that about? Then again, I don't think any of the times I've talked to her, she's had anything like a control. Like, because if you're doing a lie detector test, the point is you answer questions truthfully at first, right? So they can get a read for what you are when you're being truthful, right? And then they look for the deviations from that, for potential lies.
私が先輩をここに連れてきたのは、宮代先輩のことが知りたくなったからです。
I don't believe that. Unless... I don't believe that.
僕のことが?
というわけで...
She started to rustle through the contents of the cardboard box that had been beneath her desk. Or the desk. Huh? What was she getting out? What was she going to do with me?
だから、そんなに警戒しちゃ嫌ですよ。これ、手伝ってほしいだけですから。
It was a huge stack of papers. Oh, shit, you have paperwork!
その、これって？
今からこれ製本するんで手伝ってください。
That is not learning about me.
Huh?
That's not learning about me.
いやー、友達に頼まれちゃって。ほら、私って頼まれると断れないタイプじゃないですか。
No, I did not know that at all.
待ってください。どうして君が頼まれたことに僕が借り出されなきゃいけないんですか？
交換条件で学食の食券2週間分くれるって言うんですもん。
That's not asking for help, that's paying for help.
だからそれにどうして僕が。
愚問な、そんなの2人でやった方が早いからに決まってるじゃないですか。
いや全然理由になって。
まあまあ細けいことはいいんですよ。まずはこっちのページから折っていきますよ。
Yeah, this isn't even subtle. She handed me a stack of printouts without waiting for my response.
ほらほら、口を動かす前に手を動かす人になりましょう。
Then she ignored me and started to work. I guess that meant she didn't intend to tell me anything else about the case. Then again, to get to know me better, she could have not been lying. She could have been doing my speculated lie detecting. I'm so gonna be wrong about that. I'm so rooted into that idea that I'm gonna be wrong and I'm gonna be like eating my poot about all that. The detective had said that Kakita, the victim of the revolving dead case, had been murdered, and that she was cooperating and exchanging information with him. But if I asked her about that, she'd find out that I overheard a conversation in Cafe Lax. In the end, I was forced to help make pamphlets for one of the younger classes that I knew nothing about. You weren't forced to do anything.
もうすぐ復興祭っすね。
そうですね。
やりにくいな。
何がですか？
それっすよ、それ。後輩なんだから敬語はいらないって言ってるじゃないですか。
そうですよね。
まあいっか。そのうちおいおい後々後々ってことで。
Huh?
で何の話でしたっけ？
Wait. Talk about what precisely? You don't have to be so self-conscious. Maybe she's more a mind reader than she is a lie detector. She's getting things like self-consciousness out of people.
そう思い出した。復興祭って言えば校庭にあるあの風鈴の飾り、先輩なんて書きました？
ああいうの好きじゃ。
え？
いや、なんでも。
Oh, no, I said what I was really thinking.
僕それ書いてないです。言われたの忘れてて。
なんすかそれ、協調性ないですな。
I couldn't argue with that, but I had a feeling that no one got along with the group as well as Arimura.
でもそっか、その手があったか。私もそうすればよかったかもな。
I couldn't tell if she was faking or not, but at least on the surface, she seemed sincere.
有村さんはなんて？
知りたいっすか？
I wouldn't ask if I didn't. She brought her face up close to mine.
いや、まあ。
私はね秘密です。乙女の秘密は高いのですよ。
I just... Why? What are you trying to achieve by being so roundabout in whatever you're doing? What? I really didn't understand. There was the Arimura I was talking to now, the Arimura I'd seen with Shinjo, and the one who told me I was going to be killed. Which one was the real Arimura?
よし、できた。
え？
ちょっと先輩、まだ終わってないんすか？遅い。
ごめんなさい。
しょうがない。私が手伝ってあげるんで、半分貸してください。
ありがとう。
No, wait, why was I saying thanks? There's no reason for me to be doing any of this anyways, was there? What was I doing?
よっし、できた。
I reached up to stretch my arms, and every joint in my shoulders, back, and hips cracked. I've been helping people all day, and my body felt like it was reaching its limit.
あざっす。先輩のおかげで思ったより早く終わりました。グラッチェグラッチェ。
それで完成したこれはどこへ？
ああ、いいっすいいっす。それは取りに来てもらいますから。
そう。
I thought about asking her about the case again, but decided against it. To be honest, the look on her face I'd seen last time still scared me.
それじゃあ僕はここで。
あ、先輩、ちょい待ちです。
Swear, because she tells me something threatening again.
明日、渡部さんとの対談ありますよね。
うん、ありますけど。
Okay, that's what she really brought me here for. Even Arimura knew about it.
友達もみんな噂してますよ。今や先輩は注目の的。
Kazuki's classmates have been talking about it too. I guess it really was a big deal. It just showed how famous Watabe was, I guess.
で、お願いがあるんですけど。
No. Her suddenly sweet voice made my heart skip a beat, but I tried my best to hide it.
何ですか？
その対談の時に、あのスクープの元になった画像、どうやって撮ったか聞いてくれませんか？
Oh, you know too. You know too. The photo for his big scoop.
渡部さんの記事に貼ってあったあの画像のことです。
What? Was that what she was talking about?
どうしてそんなことを？
まあまあいいじゃないですか。細かいことは気にしない。明るく楽しくいきましょうよ。
だけど。
Come on.
わかった。わかりました。じゃあ、これあげますから、ひなえちゃんとの約束。
Blah, blah, blah. I don't feel as though your tactics would work on most people. She slid something into my chest pocket and pushed me out of the hallway.
ちょっと。
じゃ、助かりました。アディオスグラッシャー。
Fantastic. There is... Maybe it's something like Japanese culture that would make that more effective. I don't know. Some obligatory thing. A sense of obligation that isn't necessarily there with me. I took out the thing she put in my pocket.
食券？
Oh, and only 3 days worth. The nerve. She got 2 weeks, right? That I was alone. Everything about Arimura seemed somehow off. Everything that had happened, everything that she said, seemed like it was covered in lies. Everything, including the reward I'd been given, made it seem like I was being tricked. Interesting. Well, I will leave it there for now. Very, very interesting. It looks like we're back to Labcoat's place, so... Okay. I mean, again, nothing in this has made me really change my mind about anything. It just seems like she's trying to... It is, I guess the desire for her to ask that question makes me feel as though she's not working with the people killing people. Maybe it's two different groups that are... It could be something like there's like a supernatural group of people that do shit. There is a scientific group of people basically here that do their shit, and then there's another one who's trying to take advantage of everything. And these groups are just, the other two groups are just like, the fuck are you pushing in our domain? What the fuck? That sort of thing. Okay, well, I'm gonna leave it there for today. So, I'll see you all next time. Drive safely, everyone.